The TrekWorks YouTube channel is sponsored by HDA ModelWorks, suppliers of scale lighting products, detail accessory parts, and complete model kits. Visit HDAModelWorks.com today.
Welcome back, everybody. Boyd here with you again. Oh, this is part 2, or just the next update on our AMT 125th scale Batwing. I've been working on the model off and on the last couple of days, and I'm making good progress on it. It's actually going together really fast. I've been working on the center part here and also the cockpit. Got the cockpit all done. Got it lighted, and I've got everything installed inside the main body. Starting to work on some of the detail on the outside now. You can see I've got the missiles in place there. I've got the machine guns done up here in front. I was able to use some fiber optic to light those up. We'll show you how that turned out in just a second. I've got the little Batman figure done. Even managed to paint his eyes there, which is a pain in the butt. They're really, really tiny. It took me 2 or 3 times to get those. And going back to talking about what I mentioned at the beginning on the introductory video, I was going to do all this paneling detail on the model, and you can see it showing up here. Basically, I start off with I sanded the entire thing down with some double-aught steel wool. That works really good. It doesn't put really deep scratches in it, and it gets into all the nice little nooks and crannies and everything, because I knew I was going to be doing a lot of masking on this and painting all this panel detail, so I wanted to make sure my paint stuck really, really good. Then I hit it with a coat of adhesion promoter, and then I sprayed 2 coats of craft acrylic paint over the top of that in a satin black, and then finished off dusting over top of that with a little bit of my iridescent blue. It's the same iridescent blue I use on the Enterprise refit for the Aztec painting from Mackenzie, the lacquer-based stuff. Just kind of dust it over here and there to highlight, and make that blue pop a little bit. If I pan the camera around here a little bit, you maybe can see that color jump up. You can maybe notice it right around in here and on the wings and a few other spots on the front of these little scoops here. And I really like how that looks. Then I came back and I masked off each individual panel here, and I came in with some gray and just really, really low pressure with my airbrush, just lightly dusted on the leading edges of all the panels, so you see the kind of scalloped look that you see there, or fish scale look, I guess would be more accurate. But I think it looks really cool, and it's really similar to how it looks on the box art. There's going to be a lot more of that detail on the wings. It actually shows up better on the wings. The panels are more defined, but it looks really, really good. And you can see on the Batman guy here, I just put him together with the control yoke in his hands. That way you can really easily pop him in and out of the cockpit. I'll show you how that works here. He just drops right in there. Once you sit him in there right, the little control yoke butts right up against the dash there and looks like it's part of it, so that worked out really good. Painted the interior of the cockpit with black. Did a little bit of Tamiya weathering, the silver weathering that they have for military models, just to kind of give it that worn-in look. And that highlighted all the little detail that's in there. And then we have the lighting. So I'm gonna pop Batman back out here first so I can show you that. It's a little harder to see once he's in there. But you can see on this side over here, I have a couple indicator lights, and I've got a flashing multicolor changing SMD in there. All the lighting was done with 0805 sized SMDs. All the indicator lights here were done with warm white, and up here on the dash, it's kind of hard to see that dash. I have to look through the canopy to do that. We'll go around to the other side here and show you the other panel detail there. You can see the some of the instruments. Now some of the detail that was there looked like some of them were just individual lights, and some of them were bigger, round. They look like little scopes or whatever, so I drilled those out bigger and did those in green. And it turned out really cool. I like the multicolor changing thing. I got that idea from Ken over at Ken's Model Shop. He built one of these a while back, and I saw his video. He used more of them than I did. I just want to do a little bit in there. I didn't want to have too much animation, just something going on in there, and it kind of reflects on Batman when he's sitting in there. But he did a great job on his too. The whole thing turned out great. I got a couple tips from his build about where to put the LEDs and stuff, so Good job on your build out there, Ken. But it's coming along really good. I don't have anything glued in place. These wings aren't glued. The canopy is set up. The canopy is a little bit finicky as far as the part that, you know, to get it to stay open. So what I did on the back side of that is I went in and I just glued a tiny little piece of sandpaper, real, you know, fine grit sandpaper on the part where it rubs, and that gives a little bit of pressure on it. It'll stay pretty much where you put it when you lift it up. Otherwise, it, you know, with the way it's set up from the kit, it just wants to keep flopping down and not stay open. So we'll put Batman back in there. You can see he fits in there real good. Just drops right in there. And it looks really, really cool. Let me see if I can get you around the front here, and we'll give you a look at the guns. Now there's going to be more of them. There's 2 more on each wing, and we've got that. And then, of course, we're going to have the floodlights at the front of the wings, and then there's 2 more on the bottom. So I think that's going to be it for the lighting. I'm going back and forth. I may decide to put a couple of blue SMDs in these little scoops up here in the front facing towards the rear and just give a little blue glow inside there. Again, that's not Canon, but I think it might look kind of cool, and especially from the front, it'll contrast nice with the red machine guns when they light up. Those will be wired on a separate switch so I can turn them off and on. So everything's working out really good. Now, I want to talk about this lighting again really quick. I guess I'll pop Batman out so we can talk about it. The way I did this was it worked really great. It was really quick the way I worked it too. It didn't take me but an hour to do the entire thing. Again, using some more of the solar res, what I did is I drilled out all the holes first, so I had them all open. And then I came on the back side with the solar res and just, you know, made a thin layer over everything and let it kind of drizzle inside the openings or whatever until it settled in there. Then I cured it with the UV light. So I had a nice lens in the whole thing all the way around, you know, both sides, and then the dashboard. So then after that, what I did is I came back and painted everything that I wanted, like all the colors. You can see I got some red, some blue, some orange, some yellow, some green. I painted all the colors that I wanted the lights and the gauges to be using the Tamiya transparent paints, and let that dry. And then I came back with SMDs. I used 0805s in warm white. Warm white works better for lighting this kind of, you know, backlighting like this, because it doesn't wash out the color like a regular white will. It makes the color keep looking kind of rich, and you don't lose all that, you know, that depth to it. But anyway, I got those in there, and what I did is I faced them towards, you know, the panels, and then I used more of the solar res and I covered them up completely so that the whole thing, once I was done and cured it all, the SMDs are in a little dome that's like, you know, buried inside the clear dome all the way around of this stuff. And then in order to light block it, all I had to do is come on the backside and paint over it with my craft acrylic paint, you know, right out of the bottle without thinning it down, just brushing it on because it's really thick that way. It's like Tulip, if you guys have used that. It'll block light really good. So it only took me an hour to do the whole thing. I didn't have to build any kind of light boxes, you know, or worry about putting LEDs in here and then running fiber optics or anything like that. It just worked out really, really slick. And again, you know, very easy to do and really fast. It worked out great. So what I'm going to do here really quick is I'm going to turn this thing off, and I'm going to show you on the back side here. Yeah, it's this side here. Whoops, yep, I didn't glue those wings on yet. Dropped one of them. Okay, baby, hold still for me here. Well, let's do it on the towel instead here. It's not going to cooperate. I don't want to step on my wing. Sorry about that, everybody. So you can see on this side here, let me power it back up, that you can see exactly what I did there. You can see it's just it's a dome of clear resin that's over top of all that those SMDs that are on there. And you can see I got 3 of them on this side. So you just come back now and you just take a brush. This is a brush I used here. Let me grab it really quick. Just a basic brush. Dipped it in my my light blocking, you know, black, the craft acrylic, and just paint over this entire thing. Takes about 2 coats, and then that's completely gone. No more light leaks. You can see I did it on the other side, and the light leaks are completely gone. And up here at the dash, there's no light leaking out of there. I did the same thing behind it. This little one here I did, but you can see it, after it dried, a little spot came back. I did both of these machine guns this way. The fiber optics come through the gun and then end right here on the inside, and I glued a red SMD facing it, and then just covered them up the same way. I've got to touch that one up, and that'll be gone. But it works excellent, and so that's a quick way to do that, something different if you haven't tried that before. I'm just finding more and more uses for the solar res. So Yeah, if you guys have any questions about how I did any of that, you can drop a line in the comments or whatever. I just wanted to do a quick update before I got too far. The model is coming along really fast. I should probably be done with it in the next couple of days. One thing I'm going to point out, one little flaw in the model, everything on the molds was excellent, as I showed in the kit review or when we had it out of the box the other day. Everything on the model is excellent, but one problem my kit had, if you can see it right here, there's a blemish in the glass on the canopy. Now, it doesn't show up very well when the canopy's shut. That's the good news. When it's open, you can see a little bit. You can notice a little. It's all the way through the entire plastic. I took I took some light 1000 grit sandpaper and I tried it on both sides to see how far I could go before I could get it to start going away. Because then, I was going to polish it back out and then put some clear over it. And it just won't go away. It's all the way through. So I had a choice of either, AMT will give you a new part if you have a bad part or something. But with everything that's going on right now, it probably would take a month or better to get the replacement part, and I just didn't want to wait. So we're just going to call that a little bit of battle damage, I guess. But it's not horrible. It's not going to kill the model or anything. Like I said, once the canopy is down, you can't even really see it. So I'm not going to worry about it. But that was just unfortunate. I don't know if that's a problem with this kit, if anybody else saw that on their kit or whatever. I didn't notice it because I didn't look at the clear glass right away. But okay, you guys, we're going to come back probably another day or two, and I'll show you what I'm doing on the wings. I've got all the lighting installed in them already, but I'm going to start assembling them and doing the painting. And that's when you'll see a lot more of this really nice little, panel detail that we did here. That'll show up a lot better on the wings because it's just more defined and there's more of it. And I'm going to carry out that same theme with the black and then a little bit of blue iridescent and the panel detail over the top of that. So it's looking really cool, guys. We'll have a lot more progress on this when we come back next time. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Happy modeling.